Hello guys, welcome to another video of 100 days of 100 coding questions challenge. Today is our 66th day of this challenge and we had completed 65 problem of the days on Leetcode. So let's begin with today's problem, that is problem number 264. Ugly number 2. It is a medium level question. Topics that are included in this question is hash table, maths, dynamic programming, heap priority queue. So this question can be done by either dynamic programming or heap sorting. Okay, so I will do it with dynamic programming, or I have a code with priority queue also. If you want to know the code of priority queue, I will share this code in the Leetcode section. So let's do with the dynamic programming, and at first let's see what is this problem saying to us. An ugly number is positive integer whose prime factor are limited to 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so it is a definition of ugly number, that is saying that a number can be called as ugly number if it has three factors only, and that three factors are 2, 3, and 5. Only these three factors can be exist in their factor list. So that number is called the ugly number. Okay, so given an integer n, return the nth ugly number. Okay, so in this question we have to make a series of n ugly numbers. Okay, n ugly numbers, and that n is given to us. So in this question we have to make an ugly number series, and we have to return the nth ugly number in that series. Okay, so for this example, if I have n as 10, I have to make a series of ugly numbers till 10 numbers, and I have to return the 10th ugly number, that is 12. And it is a straightforward saying question that you have to just return nth ugly number. Okay, so let's think about this question. We have to make an array for the list, or for storing the ugly numbers. Okay, I have three variables, that is I2, I3, and I5. Okay, at first I have three pointers. I will take three pointers which will increment by the process with the process. Okay, and I have three digits or variables, I should say, that will store the number of ugly number. Okay, so not the number of ugly number, that ugly number. Okay, it will store the ugly number. It is a straightforward approach, so let's think about this. Okay, so for finding the value of I2 UG, it means I2 ugly and I3 ugly and I5 ugly. For finding the value of I2 ugly, okay, I will multiply I2 with 2. Okay, for just like this I will find the value of another two variables. Okay, for this I will multiply I3 with 3, and for this I will multiply I5 with 5. Okay, so if I have to find that if a number is a factor of 2, 3, and 5, I will multiply that number with 2, 3, and 5. Okay, just like I should say, for the first ugly number, I will have as 1. 1 is the ugliest number, and it is saying that 1 has no prime factors, therefore all the prime factors are limited to 2, 3, and 5. It is saying that 1 is always be ugly number. So if for that 1, if I have to find the number which has a factor 2, so I have to multiply this one as with 2. Okay, so I have the number which is the multiple or a factor of 2. Okay, so it is a factor of 2. For a number which is a factor of 3, I have to multiply 1 with that number. Okay, I have to multiply 1 with that number. Okay, so 3. For the number which is multiple or a factor of 5, I have to multiply 1 with that number. Okay, or that 5. So first three ugly numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay, if I want a numbers who have a factor as 2, so all the numbers that are present in the multiple of 2, or I should say which numbers are present in the table of 2, are all that numbers which have a factor as 2. Okay, so for the number which have the factor as 2, I have to use the multiples of 2. For 3 I have to use multiple of 3, and for 5 I have to use multiple of 5. Okay, straight question, straight approach, straight thinking. Okay, so let's start with that. In this approach, I will store the ugly number in this array. Okay, and just return the nth position number from this array. So first position will be 0, and the first ugly number will be my 1. Okay, it is straightforward saying that 1 is the first ugly number. Okay, so for my convenience, I store these numbers on indexes. Okay, so for first ugly number, it will be on index 1. I will leave the index 0. That's why I am storing 0 on the first place. Okay, so first ugly number is on index 1, second ugly number is on index 2, third ugly number is on index 3. So suppose if I have to return the 10th ugly number, I will return the array of 10. Okay, or I will return the ARR of n. Okay, I will just return this. I do not have the problem of n minus 1th index because I am storing the numbers on the perfect index or the perfect index that they have to be on the part of. Okay, so let's begin with this number. I will just multiply these three numbers with the particular factor. Okay, so for that I2 should be multiplied with 2. So the first number will 2, 3 and 5. Okay, I will find the minimum number of all these three numbers. Okay, so what is the minimum number? 2. So my next ugly number will be 2. Okay, now as I use 2, I will increment I2. Just increment that I2 just because I am using that number as my ugly number. So I have selected this number as my ugly number, so I have to increment I2. Okay, so if I increment I2, it will be my it will give me the value of 2. Now again I will multiply these three numbers with their factors. So now now this will be 4. Okay, again I will find the minimum number. It will be 3 and I will store 3 in my array. Okay, answer array. So as I use 3, I will increment I3 pointer. So my I3 pointer will be 2 now. In this, again I will multiply 2 with 3 and 2 3 is 6. Okay, so again I will find the minimum number. It is 4, so I will store 4 as in my answer array. Okay, and as I use 4, I will increment the I2. So it will be 3 now. So the number I3 UG will be 6. Again I will find the minimum. The minimum is 5, so I will store 5 in this and increment this as 2. So now this will be 10. Okay, again I will find minimum in this place. There are two numbers which are minimum and equal. So I will use 6 as I store minimum factor or multiple in this array and increment both of these two pointers. Okay, so this pointer will be 3 and this pointer will be 4. So 4 to the 8 and 3 to the 9. Okay. So again, I will find minimum number from all these numbers. So the minimum number will be 8. Now I will increment the I2 and it will be 5. And this number will be also increment. So now the minimum is 9. So I will store 9 in this array and increment this as 4. So this will answer me as 12. Okay, so now again I will find minimum from this array. So sorry, from this numbers. So the next minimum will be 10. So I will store 10 and increment these two things or these two pointers. So it will be 3, 6 and 3. Okay, so now this will be 12 and this will be 15. Okay, good. Yes, crystal clear from till now. So let's find minimum from these three numbers. So it will be 12. Okay, so I will be storing 12 and increment these two pointers. It will be 7 and it will be 5. So now I have iterated this process till 10 things or 10 iterations. Okay, so I will maintain a for loop till n numbers. Okay, so for that n numbers, this iteration will be completed. And now my ARR of 10 will be my answer, which is 12. So now here is 12 and ARR of 10 is 12 because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. The 10th or the nth position of ARR is the answer itself. Okay, just I have to return ARR of n. So let's see this as code. So in this I have made a vector, okay, or an array which stores n plus 1 indexes just because the first index, I have to leave the first index because of my convenience. So it will store n plus 1 indexes. And I have made three pointers as I2, I3, and I5. as these three indexes and initialize their value as 1. Okay, I have a one liner initialization of these three variables, and array of 1, that is the first index that will be after 0, and the first index will be 1 because I have to store this one as my first ugly number, so it will be the first ugly number. Okay, so I from 2. Okay, as for zeroth and first index, I have completed my work, and for zeroth index will be my 0 and first index will be my 1. Okay, so for from I have to store number from second index. Okay, so for second index, for that logic I have used I equal to 2 and I is less than n plus 1. Okay, for just for the values to be stored on the second index. Okay, so for this I have calculated I2 ug, I3 ug and I5 ug as I calculated here, and the formula is also same: I2 into 2, I3 into 3, I5 into 5. That is I2 into 2, I3 into 3, I5 into 5. Okay, so this will result me in the number. Okay, so let's begin with these. I have calculated the minimum of these two numbers. Okay, minimum of these two numbers, oh sorry, these three numbers, and the minimum of these three number I have stored on the ith position of that ARR. Okay, after finding these two numbers, minimum of these three numbers, I will store that minimum number on the position of I. Okay, now for this, if my minimum is I2 UG, that is I have used I2 UG. If my minimum number is I3 UG, that it means I have used I3 UG. And if my number is I5 UG, it means I have used I5 UG. Okay, so if I use any one of them or any two of them or any three of them, I will just increment. If I used it, I will increment it. If I use it, I will increment it. Okay, and at last, after this loop will end, the last index or the last number or the nth position number will be my answer. Just I have to return it. Okay, so let's submit it and see if it is running fine and passing all the test cases or not. Yes, it is passing all the test cases, and yes, 100% faster than other users. So by this I have completed code of the day of today and 66th day of my challenge, that is 100 days of 100 coding questions challenge. And if you have any problem in the code, I will be leaving the solution link in my description. You can go there and you'll direct it direct there from my YouTube channel to my GitHub account. You can tally your code from there with my code and check the errors. Okay, so thank you for today.